Remember that one episode where he just looked really fat?
Yeah, it basically looked like I had tits. Like it legitimately looked like I had moves.
The whole episode.
I know. Fucking bullshit. I hold like loads of fat.
You look a bit chunky today, you know.
Mate, fuck off. Seriously, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to get called fat. Because then you're actually going to get in my own head. Like, you're going to get in my head about it.
Don't worry, mate. Enough people have got in my head over the last...
Oh, fucking hell. Not again. Right, hang on. Before we start, for the people on YouTube, hang on. I did one eccentric last week. And now I want to prove to the people that I'm recovering.
Okay, go on.
How many reps do you think I should do? 2?
No one cares.
Well, no, they do. I'm going to progressive overload, you know. Right, so you ready? Bosh, there's a concentric. I'm doing a box squat. Yep. Yeah, buddy.
That is good, actually.
It's decent.
That's impressive.
Thanks, man. Look, you can see my quad contracting and everything. You know what's kind of mad, right? My left leg takes over so much.
Yeah.
Like, I think my body has taught me to, like, make my left leg just take over.
Yeah, that's enough now, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's enough, mate.
Yeah, come on then. Here we go. I'm going to failure, mate. I can't bitch out. Come on, mate. Start the podcast.
Mate, you'll be here all day if we're going to failure.
No, it's almost there.
We are literally wasting people's times.
Oh, it's almost there.
You failed on the eccentric.
No, I'm done.
You failed on the eccentric there.
That was
fake failure.
That was Neil Curry failure.
Mate.
Wait, that's his name, right? Neil Curry?
Yeah, but what if he watches this?
I don't think he watches this, to be honest with you.
He doesn't train to failure, though. That's not his style of training.
No. Oh, he does now, though, doesn't he?
I don't know if he swapped back. I'm not sure.
Oh, God knows.
But yeah, I was thinking of actually starting a new segment on the podcast. I've been brainstorming over the last few weeks.
Ooh, a new segment.
Yeah.
You only let me know about this now.
I know. I don't want to like ruin the podcast, so I don't speak to you during the week. We actually haven't seen each other that much this week, have we? You've been in Sheffield, so I've been living on my own.
Well, it's not been that long. It's only been like what?
4 days. That's pretty.
It's not been 4 days.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Well, it's not been the whole of Saturday.
Right, three and a half.
3. It's been 3 days.
It's been so long.
Mate, you're making me upset now.
I know. But yeah, I've been thinking of a new segment. I'm going to call it Hate Comment of the Week. And I've even got our own theme tune for it. You ready?
Yeah, go on then.
Hate Comment of the Week has someone called Ryan and Neek. He's not strong and he's not big. Let's all go and take a dig. Like that.
How long have you been like writing that down? You wrote that down somewhere.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
I've not written it down. You can check my notes right now.
Yeah, I want to check your notes. Or like, you've definitely wrote that down.
You can check my notes.
You've got a ghostwriter. I know you have. Fair enough. Was that on the spot?
No.
Oh.
I was thinking of it on the walk this morning. I was thinking of a segment. I told Harrison I was going to do a new segment on the podcast.
We need like a sound button.
Yeah.
Like
we'll get someone to auto tune that. And actually get it in.
Do you know what I mean though? You need like a soundboard where you can press a button.
Yeah, one day
it'll make like a sound.
One day we'll level up the podcast.
Yeah.
To that level where we can do that.
That'll be sick.
But yeah, so this week on Hate Comment of the Week, I'll get it out now. There's quite a few to choose from this week. Have you got any, mate?
No.
None for you again.
All the hate comments that I get from my friends, like I don't.
Or you're on steroids. Oh no.
No. A lot of them have been about my patella. Like Alex had a dig at me in your question box, didn't he? He was like, "How to do a lat pull down without dislocating your patella?" Like, oh fuck off! I could lat pull down more than him without the knee pad.
Can leg press more than him still. Single leg press.
I actually maybe possibly.
I think you could.
You know what? I'll take this opportunity to. Oh wait, no. We'll do your hate comment of the week, and then I'll speak about my.
So this one actually wasn't directly at me. So this was sent to one of my friends about me. This guy who goes to our gym, he says, I'll screenshot it here. So let's find it. Sorry, guys. Struggling to find it there.
He's a very angry bloke.
Potentially going to have to unfollow you because you believe the nonsense of this kid. My counter-argument to that is...
Kid.
If Cuba was posting the same stuff I was posting, you'd use those words as gospel. But because I'm not the same size as Cuba, you think it's the wrong information.
Yeah.
The information doesn't change. The fact that I've got a worse physique than you, or a worse physique than Cuba, or anyone, for that matter, doesn't change the information that I'm giving. I'm not giving information for people like you. I'm giving information for people like me, when I was younger, who struggled to grow without using the minutiae of bodybuilding. So, yeah. And then he says, my bird weighs more and Prob's got more muscle mass too. 6 years of training and 150 pounds. And this is quite weird because this guy doesn't follow me.
Yeah.
But he knows the exact amount of years I've got of training experience.
Yeah.
And he knows my exact weight.
Yeah.
That's some high level hate in that.
I know.
Knowing my exact weight and my exact training experience.
He's been stalking you.
But has been sending messages to my mates, not knowing that he's my mate.
Yeah.
And taking digs at me about my weight. Ben Howard, 155 pounds, world champion. AJ Morris, 142 pounds, world champion.
Yeah.
We're natural. I've got a small frame. I'm going to be light.
Sure.
Get over it, mate. Just because I know more than you.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Exactly. I think I don't know. I don't understand. Like you haven't even spoken to this bloke. Like you have no like underlying beef. Like personally,
Sending messages like that.
Yeah, I don't really get it personally. It's a bit weird.
All I've got to say to these people who I'm getting quite a lot of hate on a week-to-week basis. Although to be honest, I'm getting more like people messaging me saying how much their content's helping me. So I'm gonna keep doing it for those people. So that's all it is.
Exactly.
Watch what I do over the next 5 years. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Watch what I do over the next 5 years.
That's what I said, mate. You've just got to use it as fuel to like propel you towards your goals even more. Because like I don't understand. I don't understand what brings people to like make these comments. Like you haven't done anything. Like you've not done anything to these people, and like it's not like you're regurgitating what anyone said, or it's not like you're putting out bad content. I'd understand, right?
If I was putting out nonsense, that stuff that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, if you were putting out shit that was like blatantly bad content, like you weren't helping people. Because there are, let's be honest, there are a lot of people like that in the fitness industry. There's a lot of misinformation, but you're not one of those people.
Yeah.
And like, I was saying this to JT. Like, you've got like, not only is your advice like really solid, but you've got a good physique. Like, you have got a good physique to back it up. Like, I don't understand.
I haven't got a good physique. I've got a decent physique.
No, I think you've got a good physique.
But the reason why I'm so light, I'm 5'9". This guy who said it is like he's 6'4"?
6'4", 6'5", yeah.
And he's at 230 pounds. And to be fair, if he is natty, he's got a really good physique.
Yeah.
But personally, I don't think he is.
No, neither.
But if he is, fair enough. He's got like a world-class level physique for his age.
Yeah.
So fair enough. But the reason why I'm so light is because I've got a tiny frame.
Yeah.
My frame is tiny.
Sure.
Like I'm not particularly wide. My waist is tiny. All my joints are tiny, and I'm 5'9". I'm not going to be 180 pounds lean. I'm pretty lean. I'm 155 pounds.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
What has weight got to do with anything?
Yeah. Exactly.
And honestly, I'm just going to use it as fuel within business and within bodybuilding.
Sure.
All of these hate comments. Keep sending them over, and watch what I do over the next 5 years.
Exactly,
That's all I'm
mate.
going to say.
100%. That's the right way to go about it, because ultimately, if you let it get to you and you listen to what they say, ultimately they've achieved what they set out to do.
And you know what? The people's opinions that matter are my clients, and my clients know exactly how knowledgeable I am and how much I can help them.
Yeah.
And that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, mate, I could have literally had the exact same attitude as this guy when I came to you. Like, I've got relatively, like, I don't want.
You were a lot bigger than me.
I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but like, I've got. You've said this before. I've got very, very good genetics,
mate.
Like,
what about me? You haven't got. Yeah, you have got very good genetics there. You have.
Like, I'm quite big. Like, in my off season,
you had a lot more muscle than me when we first trained together.
Exactly, and I could have had the same.
Yet you were mature enough to know that muscle mass doesn't correlate directly to the amount of knowledge you have.
Yeah,
exactly. You can help someone.
Exactly. Like we were saying earlier, it's like I don't understand why people like don't understand the concept of like coach and athlete. It's like we were saying, do you really think LeBron James's coach is better than him, or like once was better than him? You know,
Steph Curry, the best shooter of all time,
yeah,
has a shooting coach.
yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. It's literally the same concept within bodybuilding that people. I don't like this whole idea that because you're not big, you don't know what you're talking about. Like I say this so much, and I don't want people to go away and think like after I say this, like, oh, I've got poor genetics. I won't make it, or like I won't build a good physique, because you can't ever let your genetics be like a.
Would you say I've got poor genetics?
No, I don't think you've got poor genetics. I just don't think you've got like good genetics. But what I was going to say was.
No, that's what I mean.
But genetics will always, and I mean always, be the determining factor. Like you can't outwork your genetics. Like say if
you can outwork your genetics, but you can't. Your genetic potential is always going to be the main driver of how you look.
Yeah, the main driver, or like the main limiting factor. So for example, right? I train the exact same way that Ryan does. I use very similar volume. I use very similar exercise selection. I eat very similarly.
No, let's be honest. I'm probably a little bit more adherent than you.
You're way more adherent than me. Yeah, exactly. But I follow very similar principles.
And you grow way more. Just simple as that.
I grow, like, say if we were to, we are so similar in terms of like sleep, like all the variables are very similar, and look like I have a lot more muscle mass than you. That's not because we do anything different. Like what is the difference?
And you're applying my knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's so infuriating that people don't understand. Like, mate, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, but like the transformation that we went through in my gaining phase, it's fucking like night and day, and that was through applying what you taught me. Like it was all you that obviously I adhered.
Well,
mate, as in like I adhered and I worked hard. In my eyes, that's quite easy.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have been able to do what I did in the time frame that I did without your guidance. So like the fact it's just it's so it pisses me off, man, because like I'm in your corner. I know your potential. I know how valuable your advice is, and these people who are just like disregarding it, they don't they don't understand.
I appreciate it, mate.
No, it's fine.
I need to stop focusing on the hate. Although we are going to keep this section in, because I think it would be quite funny.
Yeah.
So if you do want to send over hate and get in on this section, we'll give you a shout out. Get our engagement up would be nice.
Yeah,
I think TikTok's the place where we're gonna. Actually, I'll read out a TikTok comment as well. We'll just be giving another guy a shout out.
Honestly, when you go like viral on TikTok, or like you gain a certain amount of followers on TikTok, trust me, you're gonna get a stick.
This is from Mitch Lewis. Shout out you, bro. Nah, I think you don't know what you're on about. People that have bad grip strength need to work on their forearms to grow, as well as their working muscles. So this was as a response to me saying that you should be strapping in to your pulling movements, so that the working muscle is a limiting factor and not your grip strength. But no, I don't know what I'm on about.
No, you don't.
I need to grow my forearms.
You don't. You do.
To be fair, my forearms are awful.
But no, on stage, like you. Well, actually, to be fair, I don't really know. Do you? Do you need forearms on stage?
I think good forearms look good.
Yeah, I think it completes like the overall look. Like, say if you had like monster arms and then not as like your forearms aren't as big, then kind of makes sense. But
luckily, I don't have monster arms. So.
But the thing is, right? Like I feel like you're going to grow your forearms as like a byproduct of just like what could you? Oh, actually, I've said that, and I haven't actually got anything to back up to say it.
I won't even listen to you. But what did you say?
I was gonna say like you grow your forearms as a byproduct of like gripping things and but then the straps, huh?
And like a hammer curl, you grow your forearms.
Yeah, hammer curl, bicep curls.
No, but if you want to grow your forearms, you'd do exercises to train your forearms. You wouldn't not wear straps in the pulling movement.
It's like when people say like, oh, like I'm only gonna do like one bicep movement after my pull workout because I've done my biceps on all my. It's like, no, if you're doing any pull movement right, like correctly, you shouldn't have that much bicep activation. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
oh Christ,
that's the take comment of the week.
People
done for this week. We need to think of an outro song as well. I'll work on my vocals for next week. I think I actually can sing, but
yeah, but better than me.
The camera's getting to me a little bit. So yeah, so update from you this week. Not seeing each other this week, so
yeah,
give us a bit of an update how your session went at work.
It was decent, mate. Yeah, it was really good. I feel like once I put a hip hinge and maybe a hamstring curl, because I've tried the hamstring curl there and it's decent, and maybe a calf raise, like once I get those movements in, that's going to be a really good pull session.
But what do you do the calf raise on?
The leg press.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like really decent pull session. Obviously, like I'm still a little bit wary of my knee. I'll talk about the session Ultraflex. Initially, fuck me, I shat it. Like I was
busy. It was really busy.
It was so busy. Like the music's always really loud, but I was like proper anxious, like walking around. Like I was like proper like shaky. But as I got into the session, it got a lot better. Like I was a lot more comfortable, and as a byproduct of that, like my knee felt so much better. Like it was night and day how much it improved, which is like it's a massive plus. Like your dad was saying, I think the more that I'm like exercising it, the more that I'm like
taking it through different motions.
Yeah, exactly. Like I went at work, I went on the air bike for about 5 minutes as like a warm up air bike. Like assault bike, whatever you want to call it, and it felt fine. I think next week, if the orthopedic doctor gives me the clear, I might start doing some sort of cardio. Yeah, where like
do the bike.
Yeah, I think that might be the best option. But yeah, I'm slowly easing into doing like more stuff. So, for example, yesterday I didn't really have a choice, but I did like 15k steps, and it's just good to know that I can actually like. I can do that, like, that's, like, possible.
Cool session at work. So we've programmed one session at work for Lawrence because we're trying to avoid him having to travel so much during the week because he's obviously getting the train everywhere. So and
actually, I feel like that'll be really good for me, just in terms of, like, a stress management perspective. And also more time to create like online content. I feel like
in your coaching business as well.
Exactly. I feel like during prep, even if my legs recovered, I actually might keep that pull session on the Sunday as a leg pull session.
Yeah.
I'm actually really liking training at 4 times per week frequency at the minute.
Bro hasn't even completed a full week at 4 times per week frequency.
I know, but I can already tell that I'm going to enjoy it way more just because I've got so much more time to focus on. Like,
you know what I found as well? I know I'm going off topic, but
no, go for it.
I've also switched to 4 times per week frequency this week, and the amount of motivation you have going into every single session is crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm having like 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off.
Yeah.
2 days on, 1 day off, and like going in today, I'm like so excited to push today. We're gonna film it for YouTube, so watch out for that.
I'm buzzing. I can't wait.
But yeah, I'm so excited to push today.
Yeah.
I was finding my motivation going down quite a bit on that third session in a row.
Yeah.
But now switching to this week, I've got like a rest day. So 3 rest days a week is a lot.
Sure.
I'm really recovering between sessions.
Sure, absolutely. And I think as well, now that we've got that push and pull lined up.
Yeah, me and Lawrence haven't trained together for months.
Yeah.
Just because our splits haven't really aligned that well.
It's going to be nice to have like a training partner again on the weekends.
Yeah. So we're training separately in the week. So what our splits now are, I'm doing push on Tuesday, legs on Thursday, push on Saturday, pull on Friday. So push it twice a week, pull and legs at once a week.
Yeah.
And you're doing?
Push on a Tuesday, pull on a Thursday, and then push-pull on Saturday and Sunday.
But he's doing leg pull on the Sunday. So
yeah.
While his knee's recovering, we're going to try and do as much leg work as we can, but obviously that leg training isn't going to be so effective, so we basically made it a leg pull session rather than you going in and doing a few movements on legs and then going home.
Sure. I need to find out when I can actually train legs again because.
When's your appointment? I thought you had it this week.
No, it's on Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, fingers crossed they turn around and they say the sooner you start training legs, the better.
Yeah.
And
I think you could do a good amount. I think you could do like a leg curl, leg extension.
I think
adductor.
I think I could, but whether it's a good idea yet, I'm not
see what they
sure.
say.
Yeah, because I need some sort of like guidance. I need like a plan. I just find that like, do you struggle to like trust like medical advice?
No.
Do you not?
My parents are doctors.
Yeah, true. But or like physiotherapy advice, because you can get like bad physiotherapists and like bad doctors, like the ones that picked me up in the ambulance. Imagine if they were giving me advice about knee recovery, I'd be fucked.
True.
My patella would be out again.
I like being surrounded by very good doctors. So
yeah, sure.
yeah, you're a bit of a hypochondriac, though, aren't you? So
Oh mate, imagine how much more of a hypochondriac I'm going to be now. Jesus Christ.
What did you say to me the other day? Which is like,
Oh yeah.
I was just like, no, mate, no. What did you say? Do you remember?
Oh, it was something. Yeah, I remember when I said it, but I can't remember what I said specifically. But I was asking these questions to Matt, and I was like, so if I sleep like this, what is it going to do? And Matt was just like, no. And I was like, if I move my knee like this or like, and he was like, no, it's going to be fine. I am a huge hypochondriac. Like I
remember once we were like post session, and your heart rate hadn't come down quite a lot yet, and you were like, mate, I think I'm like having a heart attack or something. I was like, mate.
No, I didn't say I would think.
No, you were getting worried because your like chest was really tight.
Yeah. I was a bit like.
I was like, mate, just chill out.
Yeah, I know. My heart was just beating very. Oh, this sounds. Now I say it out loud, it sounds ridiculous, but it was just beating very fast, and I was like, I stood still, and I was like, oh, I need to take a minute.
You know what it is though, that being stressed about the situation just makes it worse. So
yeah.
It's like a
exactly.
cycle.
Well, when people have like a few people say like this week have come up to me and said like, oh, like should you really be training? And when like people say that to me, I panic even more. Whereas before I was like quite calm about it, and then as a byproduct of that, my knee feels worse. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like the less I stress about it, the better. But then like at the same time, I'm still being really careful with walking around because
I think that's a lot of the time why people don't recover from these kind of injuries, because they avoid doing those things.
Yeah.
And then they don't strengthen the muscles and the ligaments around the joint.
Yeah.
And therefore have problems with it in the future. But what you've done, luckily, I've kind of forced you to.
Yeah.
I've just said go to the gym tomorrow, basically, last time.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's gone to the gym and actually used his knee with leg drive and throughout different movements.
Walking around.
And that's just going to strengthen the ligaments around it, and then therefore give more structure and strength to the knee. So you're less likely to dislocate it in the future.
I feel like from a mental barrier as well, like a mental perspective, it would have been silly if I'd like delayed these things, like like going back into work.
Your knee would have just got weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
And your mindset would have got weaker and weaker.
Absolutely.
And then this would have been even worse.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've done the right thing, 100%.
Yeah.
You managed it really well, mate. I said it in your check-in, but yeah, I'm proud of how you managed this whole situation.
Thanks, mate.
This is a bit of a wholesome podcast, isn't it?
I know. We're sucking each other off a bit, aren't we?
Yeah, I love it.
What?
Anyway, yeah, so my week update, nothing really to touch on. Bit leaner, bit lighter, 154 pounds on average now. So I'm still above 70. I didn't realise. I thought 155 was 70.
Sure.
But apparently it's 154. So I'm not officially a child until I go below 70 kilograms. So luckily, this week will be the week where I go below 70 kilograms.
And you become a kid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a little bit leaner. Food is pretty low. It's like 2.1k, but I'm quite a small individual and I have a very adaptive metabolism. So when I diet, my body adapts to the amount of food I'm on and then moves less, basically, very quickly. This happens to quite a lot of people, but some people like Lawrence don't have a very adaptive metabolism and they'll just be able to diet on high food for a long amount of time. But for me, I adapt pretty quickly to the amount of food I'm on, which means I just have to basically diet on lower food. It's fine. And yeah, food will get lower. Food will get a lot lower. I know it will because of how my body works, but I'm completely fine with this. I spoke to Callum about it the other day. He was asking me how much food I'm on. And I was like, yeah, 2.1k, and he's like, oh, I bet that's so hard.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The way I look at it is, there's no if I was on 1k calories per day, and that's what I had to do to get in shape, I'd do it.
Yeah. I feel like hunger and how much you struggle is also like quite relative to the individual. Like I feel like, and also I feel like the longer that you get into a prep, the more that you adapt to it, or like the more that you adjust to getting hungry. Obviously, that changes when you're very deep into a prep and it starts to become a real struggle. But on the beginning of a prep, I feel like it's quite easy to manage.
I also said to him, like, if I cheat on my diet,
you'd hate yourself.
No, it's not even that. If I cheat on my diet, what kind of example does that set to my clients?
True.
Their coach can't even stick to a diet.
Yeah. You'd also
I have no
yourself.
right to tell them to stick to their calories if I can't do it myself.
If you can't do it yourself, yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah, there's no way I'd ever cheat on my diet, ever.
Also, you would hate yourself, like.
Oh yeah.
I would as well.
You'd hate me?
No, I wouldn't hate you. Then I'd hate myself. I already hate you, mate. Sorry.
It's not on that.
No, it's not on at all.
But yeah, I think I will need a little bit of a food drop next week. It's going to be a small one, I think, next week. It'll just be like I think I'm going to take away some fats.
Yeah.
Because I want to keep carbs as high as possible. I don't mind my fats getting a bit lower.
Yeah.
At the end of the prep, I'm going to be hormonally compromised anyway, so I don't mind my fats dropping a bit lower. I'd rather keep the amount of carbs I'm having at the moment because my performance is really high and I want to keep that where it is. So
sure.
Yeah, I'll keep my carbs the same. A little bit of a drop in fats next week on both days. So it'll just be a 5 fat drop on both days. And yeah, hopefully that initiates a bit more weight loss. Diet break the week after. And then
another diet break.
Mate, it's my second diet break.
Oh, come on. No, it's not your second, it's your
10th.
Why
do you think I'm 15 weeks into prep and I don't even feel like I'm dieting?
Oh, mate.
Because I'm managing fatigue.
Another diet
I'm
break.
the king of managing fatigue.
Where are you gonna...
No one manages fatigue like me.
Where are you gonna have your cheat meal?
I'm having a cheat meal. My diet break will be more oats, more cream of rice. That's all it will be. I'll have a bit more oats
and a Cali Cruise burger.
And a Cali Cruise burger.
Yeah, of course. No. You failed to mention that, though, didn't you?
There will be no off-plan meals in my diet break. It will just be more oats and more cream of rice. That's all it will be. High carbs. But yeah, so not really too much update for me. New YouTube video coming soon. I'm going to film that today.
I'm really excited for that. That's going to be good. I'll try and provide as much knowledge as I can. We're
going to try and get a special guest on the podcast in the next couple of weeks.
Exciting
so
stuff.
That should be exciting. Mate, can you stop doing leg extensions?
Sorry.
You're distracting me.
Am I actually?
Yeah.
Sorry, I can multitask. I can do this while speaking.
Yeah, so we're going to try and get a special guest on the podcast in the next couple of weeks. We just need to sort things out with regards to filming because we'll need another camera if we have a guest, unless we want to all squeeze on this sofa. Imagine that.
Imagine how awkward that would be.
We'll put the special guest in the middle.
That'd actually be really funny.
Yeah, it would. But I don't think the guest would like it.
No, I think you feel quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, so
sandwiched in between us two.
Yeah, we'll work something out.
Wouldn't even fit in the frame as well.
We've also got a new podcast coming soon as well, so watch out for that. We are the king of podcasts now. So me and Lawrence are going to be keeping this one, the Limitless Physique Podcast.
Yeah.
We never did an intro to this episode.
Oh, shit.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 8 of the Limitless Physique Podcast. But
edit.
Yeah, put that at the start.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got a new podcast coming soon, the Diet Fatigue Podcast.
The Diet Fatigue Podcast.
So this is going to be with our
Is that
boys.
official? Are we actually naming it?
I think we should.
I think it's hilarious.
It's a good name, yeah.
I think we could really get a good cover photo out of that.
Mate,
as well.
it better not be me.
Come on, it's got to be you.
But yeah, we're going to start a new podcast.
Like the Joe Rogan one. Yeah. That'd be so funny.
But yeah, so we'll keep this one on. We're going to film this on a Friday from now on, upload on a Sunday as usual. The new podcast will be with Harry and Leo. I don't know if you guys know them. They're not quite as famous as us, so
no,
understandable if you don't know them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that will be a pretty high level podcast. We're going to film it in like a studio and everything. So
yeah,
that should be good.
If all things go to plan, but like that'd be mint.
Yeah, we're going to try and get that set up and started within the next month, hopefully. So keep an eye out for that as well.
Sure.
Hopefully some good content coming soon as well, because we're going to try and get a videographer in for our sessions and also for my show day, which should be good as well.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, exciting things coming in the next couple of months.
Absolutely.
Business is booming.
Business is booming.
Yeah, so we'll take a little break and then we'll go on to the questions. So Lawrence forgot to put up a question box, so we're going to be counting on me for the questions. Luckily,
sorry guys,
I've got quite a few, so we should be fine.
I'm a failure.
Yeah, I forgot to answer some from last week, so I'm sorry to the people I didn't answer from last week.
Shocking.
One guy actually asked a question 2 weeks ago, and I completely forgot about his question. So we'll answer his first. So
Bless him.
we'll give him a shout out as well, Callum Woods. I'm sorry, mate, we forgot your question. It's been 2 weeks. I bet he's been sat there thinking, answer my question.
Answer my question. It's been 2 weeks.
He's just been sat there. He hasn't been able to do anything with his life since asking this question because he's been so hungry for the answer.
I know. Sorry, mate.
So Callum says, why did you start going to the gym and how did that lead to you wanting to coach people? Good question.
It's a great question, actually. Yeah.
You first?
Yeah, go for it. So I initially started wanting to go into the gym because, to be honest, it's not like some like inspirational, motivational story. I was basically quite scrawny and...
Actually, no, I've got somewhere we could start before you go into yours.
Okay, go on then.
I'll start because I started the gym first. So when I first started the gym, me and Lawrence were mates in about, was it year 10 or 11?
Yeah.
So I was about 15, 16. And Lawrence actually took the mick out of me for going to the gym. I don't know if we spoke about this before, but when I started the gym, I basically started because I was ridiculously skinny. I was skinny fat. So when I started, so right now I'm 70 kilograms and pretty lean. When I started, I was 57 kilograms and fat. So if you can imagine what that looked like on a 5'9" individual, 57 kilograms and hadn't got any abs, 57 kilograms and fat.
That's an aesthetic physique.
Yeah, so I've built a lot of muscle over my time, but
I just to clarify, I only took the piss out of him because I was jealous because my girlfriend at the time would like go and like feel his muscles.
Was she?
Do you not remember that?
No.
Well, it might have been one time, but I remember it very vividly.
It burnt you.
I was scarred. But no, I remember in the cafeteria once, you were like...
Lawrence, look at Ryan's muscles.
Yeah. I was like, fuck off.
I love your muscles.
I literally remember it. You were like this, and she was going like, oh yeah, like made a difference, and I was just like, oh whatever, fuck off.
Gym shit anyway.
This is what I was going to say. This is what got me into the gym. It was you, mate.
Yeah,
it was you.
So
No,
I started because I was skinny fat basically, and yeah, I just wanted to be a bit more confident, and I fell in love with it pretty much. Pretty much from the off, I was in love with it. Loved the progress, seeing progress every week from a strength perspective, my scale weight going up, building more muscle. And yeah, I just fell in love with the process. Then I got a bit deeper into the science side of things when I went to uni. Obviously with my degree being sports science based, I learned a lot to do with the anatomy, kinesiology, etc., physiology. So that really sparked my enjoyment of basically learning the more in-depth stuff with regards to bodybuilding. And then midway through uni, I got really involved in natural bodybuilding. Started following AJ and George Osborne, and yeah, just really loved it from there. And that led me to wanting to coach people because I knew I wanted to do something in my life which would basically be helping people. So when I went to Ecuador in 2016, I really enjoyed the feeling of helping people. So I basically went to Ecuador in 2016 to help build schools and hospitals with school, and yeah, that really made me realise that I want to help people in the future within my job. And then I just combined those two things, loving the gym and loving helping people, and coaching was perfect. And it doesn't even feel like work. I absolutely love online coaching. Honestly, it doesn't feel like work whatsoever. I look forward to doing my check-ins every single day. So yeah.
Absolutely, mate.
That's why I wanted to start coaching.
Yeah, to be honest, mine is relatively similar to that. So I got into the gym when I was... Well, I've been sort of going when I was 16, so I had a job at 16, 17, I had a job at David Lloyd, and obviously they had a gym, and I'd go in and out, but it was nothing like it was very half-assed. It wasn't consistent at all. So I actually class when I started training when I was like 18 and when I went to uni, that's when I actually had a consistent, started consistently going to the gym basically. But yeah, to be fair, I wasn't particularly confident in the way that I looked. Like I really disliked it, and I always thought that like bodybuilding and having being jacked was like pretty cool. But I
Apart from when it was me.
Huh?
Apart from when it was me. And
Yeah.
Me stealing your girlfriend.
Yeah. Then I hated it. It was. But no, I always thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, it was just for like a confidence boost really, and it did. It really helped. I became a lot more confident in myself.
Bro just got jacked immediately.
Yeah, I put on like Alex will tell you, I put on like a fair bit of muscle like relatively quickly within like my first like literally like my first like 5 or 6 months.
Actually, there's something to touch on it. So
Go on.
when I started following Lawrence on Instagram about, I don't know, just a year and a half ago, I actually thought he wasn't natty because he had made like a crazy transformation from his cut. What was that? You went from like 100 and you were a big chungus to like 105, weren't you?
It was like on and off. I was like yo-yo dieting basically, but I
That cut
was
didn't look natty, did it?
no, well, I was quite fat. I got very fat in lockdown. Then I lost a load of weight and I got to around 90, 95, 93 kilos, and then from there I yo-yoed. And then I finished uni and I had nothing really to do for the summer. So I was fuck it, I'll just get peeled, why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And you grew in that diet as well.
I grew in that diet because my training wasn't amazing, so I was able to I was very meticulous in that diet. So I was literally doing nothing but like training in my garage pretty much. I had a nice neat little setup.
The reason why I thought you were assisted was because your delt was so overdeveloped. And I was
Yeah.
like, fucking hell, there's some androgenic delt.
Yeah.
And also, he had like a cyst on his shoulder,
Yeah.
which just looked like he'd been pinning himself. So I was like, yeah, he's assisted.
Yeah.
I was like, why has he done that? Oh, and also,
Yeah.
his ex-girlfriend, sorry, mate, I'm bringing a lot of your exes into this, but his ex-girlfriend, he had told his ex-girlfriend as a joke that he was on roids.
Yeah.
And she had gone around spreading that, saying that you were on roids.
You know what? I started doing this a lot where like on the like about a year ago or like around the time that I did that cut. I would just like because I didn't really think anything of it because I was like surely they're not actually gonna like I thought it was a genuine joke like I just tell people like yeah I'm on gear like as a joke.
Yeah.
But a lot of people took it literally, like, you know, when I played American football in my masters year, I'd tell all of them like there, yeah, like yeah, I'm on gear, and I just went along with it. But I didn't think that people actually took me literally because I was very like in that cut. Yeah, okay, it looked a bit sus. Like I did look like really good, but after I came back out of that cut, I looked like I was so normal. I wasn't like
Yeah.
I don't think anyone who had
You don't look that good when you're fat.
no, definitely not. No. I don't think anyone who was like self-aware would have looked at me and been like, "Yeah, he's on gear. He's definitely like on gear." Like, but like, yeah, I stopped saying it as a joke after that because people were literally taking it
Because
literally.
we weren't even friends at the time, and it got round to me that you were on gear.
Really?
So basically, my ex-girlfriend
Yeah,
had spoke to your ex-girlfriend's friend,
yeah,
and they somehow got onto the topic of you, and your ex-girlfriend's friend told my ex-girlfriend that you were on gear. And that's
Yeah.
how it got round to me. I was like, oh, fucking hell, why has he done that?
Why has he
Why
done
is on
that?
gear? He had such good genetics already. Why has he done that?
and then you found out that I was natty.
Yeah, and then we trained
So,
together. Even when we
yeah.
trained together, I was like, I don't know if he is or not.
Really?
And then we posed, and I was like, yeah, he's natty.
Yeah. I was.
Yeah, this guy's mid.
This guy's not on gear. No, he looks mid. He looks mid as fuck. Nah.
I was like, I've literally got bigger legs than him. And then suddenly have you seen my Instagram story today?
Yeah, your legs look good. Legs look really good. 150 pounds my ass. Like, your legs look really good.
153.2.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry.
Those
Sorry.
3.2 mean a lot. Okay, so that's why did you want to get into coaching people?
Again, very similar reasons to you. I had a massive confidence boost and essentially lifting, like, not to be like cringy about it, but lifting changed my life. It was genuinely life-changing in terms of the way that I felt about myself and the way that I articulated myself in front of people. It gave me a lot of social confidence, and seeing other people, well, helping people towards feeling the way that I felt. There's no better feeling. Like,
Yeah.
it's
so rewarding.
it's probably one of the most fulfilling jobs in the world.
You know that
It's
message
incredible.
the message that guy sent me, the person who applied yesterday and
Yeah.
he's starting up with me.
Yeah.
The message that he sent in response was so like rewarding.
Yeah.
Him saying how much effort I've put into him,
Yeah.
and he's not even started paying yet.
Well, it makes it all
Yeah.
worth it, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Yeah,
And even comments from you and like other clients is so good.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it all worth it.
exactly.
Okay, next question. Argon asks, is it normal to be weaker after 4 days rest? So is it normal to be weaker after a deload? And yes, definitely, because you've got to think, having 4 days completely off the gym, you're going to kind of desensitize yourself to that stimulus of lifting heavy load, and you're going to lose some of the movement patterning, the neurological connection to each movement, and therefore when you go back in, you're going to be less skilled at performing those movements, and therefore you're not going to be quite as strong on them. So usually what I'd say to do, if you're taking 4 days off, the first couple of sessions, first 3 sessions back, just do them at D volume, so slightly lower volume, just to make sure that you're easing yourself back into training, not going straight back into full volume, because you will be able to get away with lower volume at that point because you're desensitized to the stimulus. So yeah, it's definitely completely normal to be a slightly weaker. That's usually why for most people I'd implement D-volume weeks rather than deload weeks, just because you can keep that stimulus of training there and then go back into the gym the following week and hopefully not lose any strength. But deloads are sometimes needed if you are particularly fatigued, like you're over fatigued and definitely need some time off. Maybe you've got a holiday, they can be needed. So if you are coming back after a deload, I'll usually do a D-volume week to ease yourself back in, and then hopefully it won't stop the momentum in terms of strength too much.
I used to get really annoyed at this. Do you remember when I first started? Like,
Yeah.
You started coaching me, and like I'd take a deload or a D-volume. I'd go back into it.
We did a deload before you even started. I was like, we knew you were starting the next week, and I was like, deload this week. You've never deloaded before. I want you starting after a deload.
I didn't.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you?
No, I didn't. I trained with 2 sets.
Yeah, so that was a deload for you.
For me, yeah, technically. But I was like,
I ain't doing that shit.
I ain't doing that shit. No, I still think I trained to failure.
No,
but
no, it wasn't accurate.
Yeah. Oh no, it was pretty accurate.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, but remember.
You know,
it wasn't in like the failure was weird. It wasn't you failing because the muscles were failing. It was failing because your form was slightly breaking down.
Yeah, sure. But those dumbbell presses that I did.
Yeah,
they were accurate.
Yeah.
Like they were decent.
Yeah, that was the wrong word.
Yeah, but they weren't like. Yeah. You know what? I'd be really interested to see what I could do on like a flat dumbbell.
Now.
Yeah.
Well, you'd be so unskilled at it.
Oh yeah, of course. As in like if I built it up.
Oh,
like
60s.
You reckon?
Pretty easily, I reckon. I reckon if you went in today, you could do 52s off the bat.
Yeah, probably. I'd really like to see. To be fair, I might put in the flat dumbbell in my
next off season.
Next off season.
I was about to say, I was like, what is this guy thinking? I'm not putting in a flat. Just losing stability every single week. And you're like, mate, why am I regressing? I've got to like.
I shouldn't be regressing this fast. Yeah, fucking hell.
Your back's shredded and you're wondering why you can't stabilise the numbers. Okay.
I'd look like you.
You can answer this one, mate, because this is an important one for you.
Go on then.
Best tips to open up the lats. Maybe I don't have them, but I think I can do better.
I mean, this isn't something that I can actually like give advice out on, is it? Because I can't open up my lats.
It's a difficult one, this, isn't it? Because obviously you can do massage work to try and loosen those areas a little bit.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time you are right. Maybe you just don't have the amount of like muscle there as you thought you did.
Sure.
In terms of the actual shape, a lot of what your shape is from behind is going to be your waist, because I'm not particularly wide and my lats aren't particularly good.
They are quite good.
No, they're not though. If from a muscle mass perspective, if my lats were on you, they'd look awful.
Really?
Yeah.
You reckon I've got more
muscle there? Yeah.
Really?
But my lats are better because of my shape. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of it's just going to be down to your shape and the amount of muscle you have there. But in terms of opening up, I'll just probably get frequent massage work to make sure those areas are loose.
Yeah. I'd also it's also like practice as well. Yeah. Like I have gotten better at opening up my lats in a lat spread, but that's only through practicing posing. So
yeah, a lot of practice within posing.
Yeah,
try and basically just loosen up those muscles around your scapula, like your traps being tight are an issue for you in terms of opening up.
Yeah,
just all the muscles around your scapula basically. So yeah,
sure.
Not a great answer there, but yeah, not too much we can help on with regards to that. Just get massage work.
Yeah, I was speaking to JT about this. Like, I feel like we are really good at just being genuine. Like, if we don't know something,
we are just really good. Like all round.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Come on, mate. Stay honest. Yeah, but I was on a serious note. I was speaking to JT, and I was like, I think the reason that people actually enjoy this, like the podcast, is like because we are just quite genuine. We're just ourselves. Like we just, if we don't know something, we'll say like, like I just said, like I'm not really the best person to to answer this because I can't open up my lats very well.
We stay in our lane.
Yeah, exactly.
So, next question. How to know fatigue is creeping up and you need a deload? Do you want me to answer it or you?
Yeah, go on, you go. I feel like you could answer it way better.
Yeah, so there's loads of different markers that you might need a deload. The main one for me is always going to be training motivation. I know that I'm basically, fatigue is building up and I might be overtraining if my motivation within a session is starting to come down. Because for me, I'm always motivated to train and I'm always really excited to go to the gym. So if that disappears at all, I'll know that fatigue is creeping up and that's probably why my motivation is going down. Also, with regards to sleep can definitely be affected. So if you're getting up in the night more, your sleep cycles are breaking, you're struggling to get to sleep, you're struggling to keep asleep and get a good amount of sleep duration, then that could also show that you're over fatigued. Also, maybe muscle soreness as well. If you're getting a bit more DOMS than usual, appetite might be down, and therefore that's the reason why your appetite could be down is due to higher levels of stress and maybe training fatigue. So that's why appetite could be lower. And yeah, there's so many different reasons. Maybe some injuries are creeping up. So you could be getting some small niggles that are creeping in, and that could be showing you that you're overtraining in certain areas and you might need a break. So yeah, there's quite a few. I've probably missed a couple of there, but yeah, there's quite a few biomarkers of fatigue. You got any to add?
No, I think the main one, like you mentioned, is like training motivation, or like enjoyment of training. Like it's actually a really good indication because if I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, this is a bit of a drag, I notice and I'm like, oh, like I might need a deload because if everything's normal, I absolutely love being in the gym. It's my happy place. Like that's where I get the most like enjoyment out of life from. And if that is going wrong, I'm like, yeah, that's a really good indication that I need a deload.
Well, I'm going to see if I've forgotten any because
you did a whole post on it, yeah.
Training performance, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very obvious one.
Also, if you're starting to plateau within the gym and there's no particular reason, if you're nailing external variables and your training performance is starting to plateau, then that could also be a reason why you might need a deload. You might need to pull back a little bit. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So, next question. How many more we got? Okay, that's all of this. That's all of the last week's questions done. Got a few from this week, and then we will close up. I always think, like, am I going to forget something when I'm speaking about a certain topic?
Yeah.
I know it all in my head, but do I remember it?
That's
the problem. Okay, so next question is... So this one is from Argon, but I think we answered this, didn't we? Mate, am I boring you?
Yeah.
So this one's from Argon, but I'm pretty sure we answered this, didn't we? So
yeah.
If weight doesn't move for a week, do you always drop food / increase expenditure? So we answered that last week.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the answer is no to that question. It's very dependent on how your physique's looking with regards to how lean you are. But if you want a more in-depth answer, have I uploaded that reel yet? I don't think so. But yeah, I'll be uploading a reel on that soon. Or you can just go and watch the podcast from last week. Sorry, mate. Can't really be bothered to go through it again.
Great care for our listeners.
I'm not. That's just an awful question from Harrison.
Let me see it.
No, I'm not sure. You'll get it at the end.
Okay, all right.
Amateur Genetics, the GOAT. Shout out Amateur Genetics.
Legend. The
question GOAT. This is a good one, this. Do you subtract lifting and cardio to calculate your net daily calories? So I want to give you an answer. I want to let you answer a question, but I feel like I've got a good answer to this.
Yeah. I don't even understand what you're saying.
So,
I sort of do. Yeah. So, as in like, do you account for it as in your like total daily expenditure?
Yeah. So what you've got to think about here is that I don't think a lot of people actually know this, but I did some research on this at uni. Basically, when you are doing cardio or lifting, your body down-regulates the amount of energy it uses outside of those cardio sessions or those energy expensive sessions. So, for example, if you're doing 900 calories worth of gym lifting within the day, you're doing 400 calories worth of cardio, your body will down-regulate the amount of activity it's doing outside of those sessions, and therefore your actual total energy expenditure won't be that much different. You're not going to have 1,300 calories more burnt on a training day than you are on a rest day, because on a rest day, your body will be more active naturally, and on a training day, your body will down-regulate outside of the gym. So the actual difference between energy expenditure on those days isn't too much. For example, for me, I'll probably say I'm burning a couple of hundred calories more on a training day. The main reason why you'd basically have more food on a training day it's because you want to maximise performance. It's less to do with energy balance, in my opinion. Obviously, there's going to be small differences in energy balance, but the main reason for it is trying to place as many carbs around the workout and therefore maximise performance.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't think about it too much. Maybe just have your training day calories slightly higher than your rest day calories, just to allow more food around the training session.
Well, it's completely dependent on like your weight, isn't it? Like weekly. Like I wouldn't base it off like, oh, how long am I training for? How much cardio I'm doing? I base it off your weekly weight, and if all the variables are standardised and
I'd never eat back your calories. It's a very dangerous game to play. Because the problem with this, if you start eating back the amount of calories you're burning through exercise, you'll end up just going to want to go and run marathons every day, so you can have like tons of food. You know what I mean? So that's what people can run into that trap. I would never do that. I'd just have a set amount of calories for the week. If your expenditure is increasing over time, then you'll just have to move calories because your weight's going down. So it's as simple as that, really.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes it a lot simpler. I used to wonder, because I was like, also like these fitness wearables that are telling you that you're burning X amount of calories in like...
They're just going off your heart rate. They're not really very accurate.
They're not accurate at all. Like a Fitbit or an Apple Watch will tell you that you've burned like 600 calories on like a run, and it's like, have you? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And then it won't account for the less amount of calories you're burning throughout the rest of the day.
Exactly.
Because you're knackered from the session and you're just lying there all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Which split do you prefer between push-pull legs, and push-pull legs upper lower? So I'm imagining this means 6 days per week push-pull legs, or 5 days per week with push-pull legs upper lower.
I really like push-pull legs upper lower.
I think
it's the GOAT.
It is the GOAT. I think for someone with a balanced physique who's looking to grow everywhere, you can't beat it. And I wouldn't go push-pull legs, I'll go pull-push legs.
Yeah.
Because that allows you to split up the hip hinge and the squats.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
Definitely. I think I really enjoy it, because you get like... You get the best of both worlds. Like it's like a hybrid, isn't it? It's like you get like I really
just
enjoy.
So balanced the program. That's all.
Yeah. I really enjoy upper sessions. They're really fun.
Yeah.
But then I really enjoy like pull sessions, and they're fun, and pulls, like solely pull. So
you just enjoy training.
I just enjoy training, mate. Yeah. I really enjoy legs as well, but I can't exactly do that.
I'd never program someone 6 times per week frequency.
Yeah.
I think when Leo and Harry both first came to me, they were both training 6 times per week, and even though one day of those was an arm day, I just think that you need to prioritise rest more. I'd never program someone more than 5 times per week.
Yeah.
And I also really like putting people on weekly splits, so their split is over 7 days, because it allows you to know exactly what day you're training, and therefore you can just create a better routine. So
absolutely.
I'd always go with pull, push legs, rest, upper lower rest, over push pull legs twice, just from basically recovering more between each session and therefore progressing more mechanical tension, more growth. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
It is the GOAT split though. Pull, push legs, upper lower. It's the GOAT.
Yeah, I love it. It's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty much, if it's like a intermediate trainer who comes to me, that is 90% of the time it'll be that.
Yeah.
Just because it's such a good split.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I think I've got just one more. I don't know if we can ask this, man.
Let me see. No, don't say that. Don't say that. Oh, Harrison, man, just ask a good question, please. I beg.
Oh, it's awful.
I beg.
You know, Harrison's the one who gets me all the hate as well.
Yeah, he is.
So Harrison posts on his story, he reshares my reels, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
And then he'll get hate from resharing my reels. Those are some committed haters.
Yeah.
They don't like Harrison because he's resharing me.
Yeah, it's all Harrison's fault. Blame on
fuck Harrison, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
But yeah, we'll leave that question now because I don't want my family to disown me.
Oh man. Should we wrap it up?
You wrap it up then, mate.
Call it a day. Oh Christ. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. As always, give us a like on YouTube, rate our podcast on Spotify. Oh, we were meant to do this at the start.
Yeah.
Rate our podcast on Spotify. Share if you're listening. Keep the questions coming because they're really good. We really, really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.